A raft of wandering otters, and yes, it's been a while since we've chatted and posted anything. It's just a whole lot of things going on, and we're getting ourselves ready for the Christmas we had. It is the 26th of December, a little bit late, Boxing Day. If you're in a British country that celebrates Boxing Day. I think they do it in Ireland too. And they aren't British exactly. But anyway, long story short, it is Boxing Day, and Paul and I are going to go out for a rare daytime still. It's kind of late in the day. Getting on. It's about 5:02. It should be dark in about half an hour.
Dinner.
Hang on. Well, this just in, we may go ahead and try to get Paul a little bit of to-go dinner. We haven't even been going in. Paul hasn't even been going through drive-thrus because, of course, he typically would see someone in a face mask if he did. So, kind of a big day. A little nervous because, like I say, this is kind of slowly but surely overcoming a fear. There is great news about the COVID vaccine coming out and being available and whatnot, but at this point, face masks are probably going to still be a reality for a little while longer, at least. So we like to think we've gotten to what base, Paul?
Third base.
Third base. Okay, so. We are at third base. That means we can see home. But that, sometimes that stretch between third and home can be the longest piece of real estate there is. Yes, sirree. Okay, and we're not going to rush anything. We're going to wait until the runners advance normally. Okay. I guess I've said enough, but I think we might go ahead and do a quick little run up to Moss Landing, see what we see. Paul, what do you got to say?
Good luck.
Good luck. This is your mission, should you decide to take it.
Yeah.
Correct. Paul would like to be an international spy, by the way, so if you know anyone hiring, that's good guys, of course, let us know. Raft of Wandering Otters, come see what we see on Boxing Day 2020. The year everybody'd like to forget. What the heck? Let's just remember it anyway. Say that again.
And forget what happened.
And forget what happened. No kidding. 2020, I hardly knew you. As long as I'm have a little bit of time by myself, I thought I'd ask a few questions. I don't want to be political, and I know that everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, but about half the country thinks the election is done and decided, and another half thinks it's not. And I'm a little concerned that there's a growing trend of cutting off opinion that doesn't jibe with half the country, which basically means that one half of the country is trying to silence the other half. And I don't think that's how democracy works. I am very concerned about that, and I would be raising that concern. I got to confess, when the current president took office, his progressively hostile relationship with the press and some of the hints and maneuvers that he was making made me very concerned about freedom of the press. Now I'm a little concerned, and I'm really starting to ask the question, has our press, has our media been dominated by corporate or foreign or other interest? Because I've never seen anything quite like this. I am very concerned about what free speech is coming to mean. Right now, it seems to be just one side has free speech, and I am also very, very concerned about foreign interest having bought power and influence in our country, and in our election process. Not just the political process, but the election process itself. So you can call me a paranoid or a conspiracy theorist or whatever you want, but I think there is some solid evidence out there that we're at war. It's the simple truth. We are in a state of political economic war. Thank goodness it's not a shooting war, and I pray to God it does not become that. But we are definitely in a war of it's being waged. The ammunition is being waged is information. And right now it's glaringly obvious that one half of the country is cutting off the other half. And how they're able to do that is yet another question that raises other concerns. Is where did one half the country get the power to do that? So, yeah, I think there's some issues, and if I don't think you heard the last of Trump and Trump supporters. So that's all I'm going to say about that right now. All right, so I'm going to leave with these thoughts. First of all, if states where there were voting irregularities have nothing to be concerned about, why not, just to lay everything to rest, allow a third-party audit to occur of the voting machines, systems, and ballots? Why not? The other thing is the courts. The courts have rejected everything on procedural basis. It's almost like they're scared to get involved. A lot of people think that the court's rejection means that they've looked at the evidence and there is no evidence. No, that's not true. There has been testimony and discovery of a great deal of voter fraud, and the evidence is there, and I think more evidence is going to be forthcoming. Okay, I think much of it's being held back right now because well, I guess it's almost like a sting operation, or they have to go through a certain procedure. Anyway, we the public may not realize the extent of the fraud. Okay, but it's there, and anybody's pretending otherwise, you're not. I think you are in for a rude awakening. But be that as it may, if half the country thinks that there was voter fraud, which is pretty much, or half the voters anyway, is pretty much the case, then why not allow the audits? Why not hear this in court? There's something wrong, and it's not just Republican versus Democrat. There is something wrong, very wrong about this right now. It just doesn't feel right. Okay? Remember all the big trouble and the bending over backwards that occurred to go through and recount and review hand by hand or one by one the ballots from Florida in the what was it, Gore versus Bush kerfuffle following that election in help me, was it 1998 or was it 2000? I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, remember all that? Okay. Remember how upset and all the court cases and all the challenges and all the accusations that came out of the 2016 election? Okay. So why aren't we letting due process take its course? Why aren't we auditing and these voting systems and ballots like people are asking for? It's almost like somebody doesn't want the to change the outcome that's already been decided apparently by the major media, and that's wrong. And the media knows it's wrong. The courts know it's wrong. And I think a lot of people are starting to come around and realize that, yeah, there's something wrong here. And again, it doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat. It seems like there are forces at work here that are subverting our democracy itself. And what those interests are, I don't think have America's best interest at heart. So just something to think about. I don't like being political, but I think we are at a crisis point. Let's put it this way. You can ignore the people that think that there was voter fraud at your own peril, because I'm going to tell you right now, I think we're looking at a civil war. And I'm not making that up. They are not going to back down. And they are organized. I am saying right now, a house divided cannot stand. You cannot just go on ignoring this. It needs to be put to rest one way or the other, and it has to be a fair hearing, not some of these kangaroo court hearings that are happening, like with the Michigan Oversight Committee, which found no evidence of fraud, even though I heard it with my own ears, evidence of fraud and irregularities. Okay? You can't go on like this. And that's all I'm going to say. Raft of Wandering Otters, thank you for joining us tonight in these troubled times. With any luck, we'll get through this. And I mean that for everybody. I have family and loved ones on all sides of the political spectrum. But I think in the end, every one of my friends and family, even if we disagree on politics, love our country and love our democracy and would stand up for it if they knew what was at stake, if they knew that something was threatening it. I think people are slowly starting to wake up to it. I don't know, but I think we will be learning more in the very near future. See you in the next one.